Hi everybody, my name is Jenny. I write for the Horror Syndicate, and I was introduced to Richard Miles from my girlfriend Melissa, who I work with. She told me to friend request him to do an interview with him for all of his horror projects, which of course I did and I will be writing about. But tonight I'm here to share my testimonial with you of a reading I did with Richard last night. It was extremely accurate, it was extremely deep, raw, and emotional. So I'm here to tell you that everything that came through on that reading was 100% accurate and true. So I made some notes, so here's how the reading went. We talked about a couple subjects. We talked about So Richard touched on the subject of my mother. It is not something that I talk about, nor that anybody knows anything about. He discussed her childhood and things that happened in her childhood that led to her lifelong drug abuse and addiction. All of that is 100% accurate, and that is all stuff that nobody would know. Richard doesn't know me personally, so that was very, very accurate. We also touched on my ex. I just got out of a very, very bad abusive relationship, and I'm sharing this story to help other women, to let them know that you will be okay and you can survive and you can get out of an abuse. So my ex became very jealous and insecure and didn't want me to follow through with things that made me happy, and constantly accused me of cheating and was just very mentally abusive. He was projecting onto me things that he was doing in his life and things that had happened in his life growing up. All of these things have nothing to do with me, but he was projecting that onto me. And in my head, it always reminded me of this lyric that I used to hear from an Alice in Chains song called Nutshell, and the lyric goes, if I can't be my own, I'd feel better dead. And that's 100% exactly how I felt. So I did try to kill myself. Obviously it didn't work. Sharing this story to hopefully know that, women, you can come out of things like this and be okay. Richard described in detail things that happened in my ex's life and things that went on that nobody else would know, and gave a reason behind why my ex was so abusive towards me. Again, it's very deep, it's very raw, it's very emotional, but if I can share it and I can help somebody, that's why I'm doing it. Lastly, we touched on the career subject of my life. Currently, I'm a bartender, and I really, really like my job, and I like my coworkers, and I'm very, very fortunate to have the customers that I have. Richard actually went into detail about all of that, and it was completely accurate. My customers are my friends, and I'm beyond blessed and lucky to have them in my life. However, we did go a little bit step further. And the spirits see me branching off in my spare time to help other people, especially women. And that is 100% what I've been doing these last couple months. To sum it up, readings are truthful and they're accurate, and sometimes you're going to hear things that you don't want to hear. He told me some health things that I didn't want to hear. But guess what? They're true. And I'm very thankful, to hear those things. He told me some things about my personality and my traits, that maybe weren't so easy to hear, but it's real. So, life isn't sugar coated, and neither is your reading. So I send everyone love, light, and blessings, and check out my article featuring Richard and his work.